So check this out, B. This is funny, right? It's not funny, but it's one of these type of conversations in today's world affecting primarily Generation Z and millennials to a slight, let's just say if you're like your late 20s, early 30s primarily, in which what I've been trying to understand for the longest time since I had this relative conversation, relative, but not exactly the same, in which there was this debate that was going on in which is there more than two genders, in which there's people who sit up there saying that gender is on a spectrum, gender expression, all these like random things, right? So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I'm trying to understand this and I'm trying to ask questions because I'm curious on understanding what this is. All I know is male and female. Of course, I'm not dumb to understanding that you also have the other people out there that decide to not call themselves male or female, such as non-binary and all these other like descriptions of human beings or individuals, right? So I'm just doing this video for fun and also for an analysis in which they have this whole entire thing. And I understand with the TikTok culture, they usually like to do these whole entire things of this thing called trans fishing. And remember, I did a video on this way back in which, I had the whole entire thing talking about men dealing with trans women. If that's something you decide to deal with, then, who am I to judge you on that? That's you and your business. You understand? But I also want to get into the fact that when we flip this into the trans, seeing their point of view on why did they do the things that they do, why when you do stupid things, you end up winning stupid prizes. Now, of course, that's not the exact way to say it, but you guys catch my drift. So today's video is going to be about looking through the lens of trans. And I'm going to be exploring about maybe 2 to 3 clips in which I'm going to be giving my analysis on these different things. Now, of course, we started to understand this whole entire thing of admitting that someone is trans to a partner or someone they like from the likes of the late 90s and early 2000s shows such as like Jerry Springer, rest in peace, in which they would say, I really like this guy, he's amazing and da 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 da. And we hooked up and all that. He didn't know that I was trans. I sit back and I just be like, how did you like? And to some point, I would have to look at the fella and be like, well, you couldn't tell that that person was trans due to the height, due to the body structure of that person. You couldn't tell that they was trans, really? So I'm gonna be taking a look at these different videos and giving my assessment along the way. So, Pete.
Man, next time to get in here, I'll have to buy a ticket.
And as you could see right here in the video, obviously says, who gonna tell him? Transsexual went on a date with a straight dude, but didn't tell him yet. Now, my thing about it is looking at this individual, it looks like this person can pass for a biological female or has a presence of a biological female, but we're not done yet. There's about 2 more clips we need to get into. And this clip can be a result of not admitting that you are trans to a heterosexual man. Let's check this out. Now, my thing is viewing this second clip, I think I would believe if I saw this person on the street, I would believe they are a trans woman. Now, the thing about it is, I do not advocate for violence against anyone, but this is where the victim Olympics start to come along, where a lot of these trans start to use the idea of them being hit or these different things happen when they didn't even try to say anything to the person that they was dealing with, and they figured, let's just keep it a secret until he starts to have an idea or have some type of, suspicion that I might be trans. Such as so, there was this video that came out a couple of weeks ago of this trans porn star, I believe, that came forward and said that she had some type of sexual relations with a rapper. And it wasn't until they were getting it on and they was having sex that automatically he started to look at one of those things and found out that this person was trans. And so he started to ask this person, he was like, are you trans? And they admitted yes. And it's all bad. It's really bad. Let's continue.
Should I tell him I'm trans when I see him today?
So since posting this,
and before he begins, because he's reviewing this like I'm reviewing this, but this is the point. Again, I do not advocate for violence against anybody. If I was on a date with a trans and I didn't know that they was trans and they willfully admitted that they are, the date is over. You understand? My thing about it is that's not something I want to deal with. That's not something that I'm prepared to deal with. I don't want to deal with it. But at the same time, these individuals do not learn. When you keep secrets from people, not a lot of people take those secrets lightly.
it has come out that this creator is either not trans or she is trans and lying about this abusive experience that she endured. Now, I don't know for sure if she was lying or not, but thanks to one of my mutuals, Kylan, I don't know the correct pronunciation, friend, but you don't do nothing but speak facts. She provided us with screenshots that definitely let us know that this person was most likely lying. Like, why would you like a comment saying that they do anything for clout? Make it make sense. And I've seen some.
Because that's the whole entire point of the internet world, especially if you feed into the algorithms such as popular these topics about trans and all these different things. Of course, it's going to feed into the algorithm. Of course, it's going to be called I call it the Victim Olympics, in which they're going to find into your reason to say, I was treated badly, I was treated poorly. They do it all the time. Usually it's one of the sort of things I believe women do a lot of the times, because women look at social media as a proverbial fathers. They don't honor the man for who he is. They honor the man for what he can give her. So the social media has become a soapbox and become a place where people could make up all these different things that they are and who they are and all these different things, and there's no repercussions for it.
Some other comments she's liked that she since unliked because she knew it was bad publicity. And from this post, she has gained almost 50,000 followers, and it reminded me of this statement from my good girl as told by Kenya on YouTube. Make sure y'all are following her, and she said the following in a video.
TikTok rewards liars. TikTok, it's so easy to lie on TikTok. So people get on their TikTok.
And the thing about it is, it's not just TikTok, it's as well as YouTube, Instagram, any social media platform people can lie. Especially a lot of these brothers that I've seen recently that's had these whole entire conversations about red pill and these quote unquote red pill grifters, such as so mentioning these light-skinned women and these brown-skinned women and about how they don't really advocate for men or they care. It's about the bag, it's about the clout and all these different things. It's the same old thing every day. It's no difference. It's just that it's different ways of doing the same thing.
And they just sit up there and they tell a lie, and this lie gets spread and spread and spread, and now the lie is the truth. That is what we are living in right now.
And when you
Well, that's that woke shit.
consider the fact that there are actual trans people being hurt, being murdered in these streets, this video was completely sick and disturbing. Not only that, with your video, you fostered a place for people to be transphobic and disrespectful. I absolutely have no other words. It's disgusting and it's sick.
And my point about this is this all starts from one place: confidentiality. And, the whole entire thing of being open with an individual, especially when it comes to a relatively close to or maybe a courtship. It is very important for individuals to disclose who they are, what their information is about, what are they about, and all these different things, regardless if you're trans, not trans, if you're gay, straight, bisexual, whatever it is. But because I usually make this channel towards men, I advise men, number one, it's a classic old saying. Nowadays, you need to check that chick's ID. But even with that, the government can go ahead and say if she defines herself or he defines herself as a female, it is what it is, regardless if the person is wearing a wig or they grew their long hair out and all these different things. That's what they decide to choose themselves as. You understand what I'm saying? This is all these different things. But fellas really got to take a look at these type of individuals, because it's hard for me to look at certain people. Maybe it's because they might be blind and they might see a little bit of a nice little look. Like that makeup is telling, man. That makeup is like putting makeup on a pig. A lot of these dudes get caught up in a situation and be mad because they be like, damn, like I fell for it. But I'll be looking, I'm like, well, my mans, I could tell that they's trans. Why couldn't you? You know what I'm saying? And it's besides looking at a point of Jerry Springer, especially when you look up on YouTube, see a lot of the times these trans women that come out with all these stories like, oh, he didn't know I was trans, and we hooked up, we did this, that, and the third. They was doing a guac 4000 on an airplane and doing a guac 4000 at somebody's party and stuff like that, and he didn't know I was trans. And it's like, you set yourself up for disaster every single time you do stupid stuff like that, because certain men are not going to take it lightly. And because they know that you are a man, they're going to punch you in the face. But obviously, you don't listen, you don't see it for what it is, and you're looking to establish some type of victim Olympics. And again, I do not advocate for violence, so I'm not saying it is the necessary conclusion that a man should hit you, but it is to talk about the fact of the matter that what you're doing can obviously have tremendous effects because of what you chose not to disclose to that individual, more specifically, the heterosexual man you are looking to engage in a courtship with. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. But otherwise than that, give me your thoughts in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe. Peace.